Previously on Good Old Gamers.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by the creepy waitress from Waffle House.
Thank you there. I was just stumbling by this window of this lit home, and I just noticed y'all in here recording. I thought y'all might need some eggs.
Please don't stab us.
Oh, the weather's not a big deal. I walk in the thunderstorms all the time, especially in the dark.
Ma'am, no, you need to go on. We're good.
Dude, Brandon, she's coming
What?
in.
Fuck.
She's back. She's coming in.
Game over!
Okay. Do you hear this?
Indeed, yes.
That is the crack of the first beer I have got to enjoy since our perilous week we've had.
Yeah, it was quite a strange experience.
For those of you out of the loop, week before last episode of Good Old Gamers podcast, we kinda were taken hostage by a bizarre egg-wielding Waffle House mistress.
Yeah. She,
You have to forgive us if we seem kind of slow. We're still recovering from all the blood loss, and I don't know. I got a weird scar stapled shut on my back, and I'm turning kind of yellow like a Simpson.
yeah, might want to get that looked at when we're done recording.
Yeah, I haven't had time to go to the hospital. I've just been trying to enjoy some video games and forget what a fucked up week we've had.
I know one of my testes is enlarged at the damn near the size of a grapefruit. I don't know what she did to it, but she scrambled my eggs.
On a positive note, my biceps are fucking rocking from all the protein we've had to eat
Yeah.
for the past week. It's been nothing. You know how in Forrest Gump, Bubba Gump knows shrimp? This lady knows fucking eggs.
Yeah. I'm never going to eat another egg in my life.
No. Even
So
though
tired of
we're
eggs.
snacking on some delicious pickled quail eggs
Well,
that she, I guess, sent on our way. We don't really know. We're forced to live in this basement, and approximately at 9:02 a.m. this morning, we just woke up and our shackles were like unbound.
Yeah.
And
she's done playing with us.
She's gone. On to the next Waffle House, I guess.
I don't know, though. Like, I'm in that new house now, and sometimes I just see a slender figure just stalking me in the night.
Every time I hear a thunderstorm pass through here, it's like I hear soft echoes of that weird lady's laughter.
Yeah. It's like, I can kind of hear...
I bought a nightlight.
I can hear the sizzling of eggs in the distance
Today.
sometimes. I don't blame you.
Everything always smells like boiled eggs to me.
Yeah.
Never again. But anywho, it's the Good Old Gamers episode 53 podcast.
Yeah.
It's April 19th,
Yep.
2016. And we are back.
We are.
Glad to be here. Just have a feeling that's not the last we'll ever see of that lady.
Probably not.
Knowing our fucking luck.
I don't know if it's the allergies or the mean
think
cuckold
it's
days she laid
excess.
upon us, but I'm not feeling it tonight.
Brandon's feeling it. Or not feeling it.
It's a fierce cuckolding upon me.
She introduced... Yeah, I can't even talk. She introduced us to a new thing called a keister egg. It's a bizarre form of an Easter egg that is shoved into one's rectum.
Yeah, and then you gotta find it.
Yep. There's no pot of the gold at the end of that fucking rainbow, let me tell you.
No, and you don't want to eat the chocolate in the egg.
That's news to you from us, but how about some news in the gaming world? GameStop made a release, and they said they know more than a lot of people do, of course, like some insider shit, but their exact wording was the release of the Nintendo NX is imminent. So my money's going to be that they're going to show this thing at E3, and probably within a couple months of after showing it, you'll be able to get it.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't quite pull Sega Saturn where they're like, hey, here it is.
Yeah, no shit.
That worked out well.
Yeah. If Sega only wouldn't have released the, I don't know, Sega 32X and Sega 32X CD bullshit, they're like, yep, there's a brand new console, but wait, 2 months from down the road, we have an actual 32-bit console coming out.
Yeah.
And get this, it has Virtua Fighter. But that's kind of cool. I'm excited, really excited to see what Nintendo's going to bring to the table. Because they're going to have to do something.
Than anything for
oh,
them.
Yeah. This is going to be a deal breaker, I think.
Yeah.
In certain ways.
Yeah, if they don't
Not
succeed on this
altogether,
one, then they're going to be in a bad spot.
It's going to be like Sega all over again.
I would suck so much shit to play Nintendo titles on an Xbox or PS4.
Fuck that.
And they'd probably go with the PlayStation route if they did that.
You think?
Yeah. Because there's a global market for the PlayStation, not for the Xbox.
That's true, just being that Sony's in Japan would probably have the major influence. I was hoping maybe... Because do you see Nintendo shifting all of its shit to America? No. That's never going to happen.
I could just see the Nintendo reps going to the table to Sony, and their CEO's just like, my, how the tables have turned.
He's just like, got a tattoo. He's like, I've been waiting to show you fucks this for years. He lifts his sleeve up, and it's just like Sonic speed fucking Mario. Like, he fucks him in the mouth and then speeds around the back with his red shoes and fucks him in the ass and just does it back and forth so fast that Mario's like, Mamma mia. That's terrible. I'm having flashbacks.
Me too. That was oddly similar to something that she did to me.
Keister eggs, boy. Somebody, a developer has made a Counter-Strike installation for Android phones.
Why?
I don't know, but apparently you have to have a Steam account. It requires one, but you're going to be able to play Counter-Strike on your Android phone.
Why?
Doesn't that just turn you on?
No.
You got anything else?
Yeah.
I got something else. I just got to look this kid's name up.
The Doom 4 open beta apparently was shit.
I liked what I played, honestly.
I didn't get a chance to play it.
But I'm not a fucking Doom purist or a first-person shooter purist by any means, you know.
I haven't seen a game that had as low of a review on Steam as it did. Like, maybe a couple others. It dropped to 35% before I stopped keeping up with it. But the overall thing is people saying it feels like Halo. It feels more like
I will say that.
Or Quake than Doom.
It feels a lot like Unreal Tournament to me.
Yeah.
That's a great description of that.
So, it's probably still going to be a decent game, but they Bethesda'd it up because that's what they do.
Don't question Bethesda. They send people to your house to fart in your mouth.
Yeah, they made a good game since Morrowind, in my opinion.
Well, bring on the crucifixions.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm paying attention. I lost my line.
Best new Fallout game is one that they didn't have anything to do with. So,
You're talking about New Vegas?
New Vegas.
The Mario's speedrun record, wonk, 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 for me, has been broken again by the same kid that broke it in October, I think. He beat it in 4 minutes, 57 seconds, and 260 milliseconds. His name is Darbian. I'm sure people have heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, though, I will go. I watched the videos or the speedrun video. I still, for the life of me, do not understand how these people do the glitch where you hit the vine and go in the pot and warp automatically at the top of the vine instead of having to jump up and climb it. For the life of me, I do not know.
I've never studied it or tried.
I think, though, I can get up the vine just as fast as I can run over and clear to the pop. Because I've got it pretty well figured out how to pop it coming off the conveyor and then pop the hidden block and just climb up it. Mm-hmm. But pretty cool, though. He also... Darbian also has speedrun attempts in Donkey Kong Land 2 and Time Splitters 3 on this Twitch page.
Why?
I don't know.
Those are quite odd choices.
Indeed.
So there's a Dark Souls board game coming.
Nice.
Raised 70,000 in 3 minutes.
In 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
Holy shit.
Hours later, it got up to $250,000. I'm not sure where it is at this exact moment, but it's going to be 1 to 4 players. It's a miniatures board game, and I watched a little demo video of it. It's basically a small board, and there are these small circles spaced out pretty far apart on there. They're called nodes. And basically each of those nodes is where like a monster or a player can stand. So they went with that node-based system instead of grid-based to focus more on positioning and that sort of thing without making it overly complicated. It looks decent. The miniatures are pretty well detailed. It's based on all the characters you can play are based on classes you can play in the game.
Nice.
And the AI for the bosses is it's randomized. So basically, you got an AI deck, and whatever you draw and use on there is, how the boss acts. So every time you play, it's gonna be different. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's an interesting
it looks
concept.
Decent. I'm kind of interested in it because I like board games. I'm gonna have to check it out more in depth, and I might end up getting it. I don't know.
That'd be cool. We were just talking before we started recording about Dark Souls 3.
That looks decent.
I've never played any of the other ones, but just seeing some of the videos of some of the boss battles I've seen just alone is enough to convince me.
I know I have the first one. I think I have the second one, and I've played a little bit of both of them. And I mean, I appreciate the games where they were, but they're extremely, extremely unpolished. Like to the point that I would think it was a beta game. I'm hoping. 3 looks decent. Hopefully, it's more polished. It needs more. If it's anything like the first and second one, it needs more in-game literature about what your own abilities and shit do. I know some people are like, "Oh, well, that's the lure of it. You don't know what it is." I'm like, the only thing you people are doing is looking it up on the game facts, to see what it's doing. I'd rather just read it in the game. I like to min-max myself. I don't like to spend hours on forums and shit.
Hell no. That takes part of the joy of playing a video game out of it.
Now I'm all for like unknowns with the enemies and bosses and stuff. That's cool. But my own character, let me know what the fuck it does.
Well, I mean, it's hard to put a character together if you're using abilities that you don't know the effect of.
Yeah, it's always really bland stuff. Especially the class selection in the first 2 games. It's just like, hey, you can be a fighter or a duelist. They're pretty much the same, except they're not.
That wasp was still alive.
Really?
He was crawling over there. I just set the beer box on top of him.
Nice. We're just getting assailed from all directions these days.
I know. Where's fucking Jizz Wizard 1963 at?
I don't know.
BlizzFan 1994.
We should have gave his email address to that egg lady. She's pretty tech savvy. She published our episode and everything.
I noticed, man. I noticed today when I got home and was catching back up with the world that she even did us a little header and all that. She said we're a nice young boy. At least she likes us.
Yeah.
Enough to force fit a dozen eggs into Brendan's asshole.
I think it was more
and
than a dozen.
And then force me to make an omelet out of them after they came back out.
I think it's more than a dozen. I'm still finding them.
You're literally laying eggs.
The golden goose is on the loose.
Here's a couple things that chap my ass.
Eggs.
PlayStation Neo. Have you heard of this?
No.
PlayStation Neo is the new PlayStation 4 that's coming out.
Oh, the upgraded one for 4K?
It supposedly, yeah. Here, they released the specs for it today, which they're saying this is rumor specs that was dropped, but the source that dropped them's been very reliable. The CPU for the PS4 now is a single chip 1.6 gigahertz AMD Jaguar core. The new one is a single chip 2.1 gigahertz AMD Jaguar core, rumored. The GPU in the basic PS4 is 18 Radeon GCN at 800 megahertz. The new one is a 36 Radeon GCN at 911 megahertz. So it's a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
4K. Everything else is the same, but they're calling it PlayStation Neo because supposedly it's got your basic PlayStation 4 mode, which is the 1080 output,
mm-hmm.
and in Neo mode for 4K, it enhances tons of visuals, which it should for being in fucking 4K. That would defeat the goddamn purpose of coming out to begin with.
See, I'm really calling bullshit on this.
And the RAM bandwidth, the current one is 176 gigabytes per second, and this one is 218 gigabytes per second. Rumored.
And the reason why I'm calling bullshit on this, and it's I know Microsoft's talked about the modular bullshit.
I have another one, or the other one is Xbox 1.5. And all they've said about it is it would be simple upgrades like one would do to a gaming PC.
Yeah, which is...
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a second, but the whole 4K thing on these systems is a bunch of horseshit because no publisher is going to make it a true 4K game for these because they know most people aren't going to have them. They're going to have the old ones too. So you want to market to both. So, the most you're going to see is like upscaling of the resolution, which is the main draw of 4K anyways, but you're not going to see like much of upgraded textures or anything. And so, for the most part, it's going to be kind of 4K. Like, it's technically 4K, but it's not like true 4K.
It's not designed expressly for 4K.
Right, because they want that compatibility with everything else. And that your average person isn't going to see a difference in 4K on their TV because this is the way the technology is. Like 4K is the bleeding edge of what your eyes can detect and like see a difference in. It's all relative to the screen size and things like that. But your average TV, no, you're not going to see a difference unless you're sitting really close to it.
And then your eyes will start blurring.
They just melt out of your head.
Yep.
And then I want to call bullshit on Microsoft's upgradable thing. It's like a gaming PC. Yeah, they already made that, Microsoft. You should know. It's called a PC. If I wanted to buy a PC, I would buy a PC and not a console.
I mean, true.
It's horseshit.
It's just another way for them to scam fucking money out of you.
Oh, yeah.
Consoles are going the route of cell phones and shit now. It's like they ought to just call it the PlayStation 4S. Here's another thing that gripes my ass a little bit. I mean, well, it does and it doesn't. And I'll explain why, I guess. And this is purely rumor, but it is speculated that the new Zelda will have an option to be male or female Link at the beginning of the game. A la the route of Skyrim, because people are dubbing it Skyrim Zelda because I'm assuming that's kind of their influence for the. We're talking about Zelda Wii U,
yeah.
But apparently there's a big rumor going around where you can be Link or Linkle, and I'm like, render me this. Are you still going to be, if you're Linkle, are you still going to be saving Princess Zelda, or are you going to be saving Prince Dan? Look, you know. What I don't know how I feel about that. I feel a lot of it is just because everything's so fucking politically correct now.
Yeah. There's a whole, I bash on them all the time. The Tumblr social justice warrior crowd. Women are represented in video games. I'm like, okay, make some games with women if that's how you feel. Instead of bitching about it, do something. Don't bitch at people at established video game series trying to change it. That sucks.
Like you done with another beloved franchise of mine that exceeds the video game universe. See prior episodes to hear my Ghostbusters rant.
Yeah.
Well, if they're wanting to... They can't really be putting a female Link into a Zelda game for lack of strong female characters. Because the Zelda series is full of tough-ass... Zelda. Zelda is fucking chic. Impa. There's plenty of badass women. They never refer to the gods of Hyrule. It's always like the goddesses. There's plenty of strong female characters in the Zelda series. I don't fucking understand really a need.
And 99% of the cocksuckers in Zelda are dudes.
Yep. You can't tell me the mask guy.
And I say that with no offense to cocksuckers, because cocksuckers make the world a better place.
I agree. But I don't know. A lot of the cheesy bullshit characters you always see in the Zelda universe is what he's trying to say are usually men.
Yep.
They always make those weird fucking laughing noises or the weird. That's a terrible version of them. But
the monkey with the grinder thing, dude, was a dude. Was not a chick.
It just, I don't know. I don't want to see that happen. I'll play it either way, but I don't see a need or a point in it.
No.
At all.
I will say this, my little girl will be thrilled for it because she loves being female characters, but at the same time, I'm like, it's Zelda. You play Link. That's what it is.
Zelda's the girl, god damn it.
Like, that'd be cool. They did it similar how they did Mario. They made that Super Princess Peach game.
Yeah.
It's a decent game, and I wish they'd make another one of those. My little girl would love it.
Well,
make a Linkle game.
Perhaps you remember Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon.
No, I don't.
Perhaps Zelda's Adventure. On the interactive, groundbreaking Philips CDI console is fucking crazy, right? Am I fucking crazy? It's crazy. It's $800. It's crazy. Anywho, I guess that about wraps it up for our news.
Oh, wait. I had one more bit.
Hold the phone.
The Funcom game, The Park, is coming to Xbox and PS4. So if you're interested in it and that's all you got access to, it's decent. It's a decent game.
The Park?
The Park. Enlighten
us.
It is based on... it's actually set in the same universe as my favorite MMO, The Secret World. It's based on one of the creepiest areas in that game too, where it's in a haunted amusement park. And this game though is pretty much an interactive movie. And it's good. I wouldn't say you'd want it for replayability because it is an interactive movie basically. But you take the role of a woman and you can tell from the very beginning she's like hallucinating a lot too. But you go to this park and your son just runs off and you got to find him. And slowly it degrades from this normal looking park to this haunted, horrific park that it really is. So you just for some reason hallucinate it. And it's pretty creepy. I could, especially they ported it to VR. I could see that taking off pretty good. But yeah, I think it was like a $20 game maybe, so they didn't charge you full game price for it. But I definitely recommend it if that's your kind of thing.
Nice. I might check into that actually.
But yeah, I guess that's it for news.
That does wrap it up.
Apologize for my sniffles.
Still coughing out egg matter over there.
Yeah. I don't know if I have runny nose or runny yolks.
Mm-hmm. Sounds devilishly sexy. Listen to me. I think I got, like, Stockholm Syndrome a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of miss her.
We don't need to, speak the devil's name 3 times and he shall appear.
Yeah.
But, I guess, I'm gonna do a real quick Arcade Arcana.
Do it, man.
Tonight's Arcade Arcana is a Neo Geo classic, Ninja Commando, which was released in 1992 by SNK and was developed by 80K. It's a top-down, vertically scrolling run-and-gun video game. It came out in the arcades, of course, and then on Neo Geo cartridge format, and then was later ported on the ill-fated Neo Geo CD. The gameplay is it's real bright and real colorful. It's like any other shooter almost, but instead of picking 3 different ships that have different ranges of firing, you pick 3 different characters. There's 2 guys and a girl. You can be Ryu, which is the typical ninja guy, Rayar, which is the female ninja, and then you can be shit. I had the other name typed up. Joe. Yeah, just Joe. You can be
I like Joe.
Joe. He's like the American ninja guy. But pretty much what the deal of the game is.
He's Ken.
Yeah, he's kind of like Ken. Actually, he almost actually kind of looks like Ken
It's Ryu
a
and
little
Ken.
bit. Yep. There you go again, SNK. The bad guy's name is Spider, and he kind of looks like Donald Trump a little bit. He's got real slick back hair and always wears a gray suit. Well, this guy has a time machine, and pretty much they're trying to destroy this company that Spider's with is trying to destroy the past so they can run the future. So
that works.
They go back in time to destroy history, and you have to go back in time with them and destroy their evil plans and save history. You start out playing in Japan, like old, I think it's the Sengoku period in Japan, which is like ancient, Then you go to ancient Egypt, which is a pretty basic level. Then you get deported back to the Stone Age, where you kill a bunch of tons of cavemen.
That doesn't change history at all.
And apparently there were robot dinosaurs back in this period, because there's a dinosaur boss battle and where you damage the dinosaur and the skin falls off, revealing a still possibly adamantium biomechanical creature underneath.
Well, the developers obviously knew about our reptilian overlords.
They did. You also get sent back to China era of the 3 Kingdoms, where there is no romance. And then finally, you get to go and do what everybody loves doing and go back to World War II and kill a bunch of fucking Nazis, because that is their final attempt. They're like, everybody else sucks. The mongrels are fucking garbage. The cavemen are fucking garbage. Ancient Egyptians don't do shit except make pots. And they're like, Nazis get shit done.
They did get some shit done.
So you show up and you kill all the Nazis and you defeat Spider and all is well. That's literally the gist of the entire game. It plays like a vertical shooter, but you're your own foot. One button is your attack. It's 3 buttons. One button causes you to somersault forward, backwards, or left to right. So you can evade, a lot of bullets at one time or projectiles. But one cool thing about it is when you're doing your somersault move up, down, left, or right, you can tap the fire button while in somersault, and he throws ninja stars, shurikens.
Nice.
In whichever direction you're rolling to. So certain boss battles, you can lure them to the front and get on the side and just somersault back and forth and just hit them from the side, and they can't touch you.
Sweet.
Got some pretty cool boss battles. It's a fucking quarter gobbler, though. If you're not playing this on like a MAME cabinet or something and playing it on a cabinet where you're having to pay have you about $5-6 in quarters on hand because it's a bitch. One life, you die. That's it. It's pretty good though. I think it's fun. It's a good 2-player game. Me and my buddy Josh plowed through it in about 20 minutes. So it's relatively short. But
most arcade games are.
Oh yeah, they know that you're not going to stand in there. You couldn't put Final Fantasy VII on a fucking arcade cab and be like, well, this guy's got to stand here for 3 weeks to beat this game.
I was looking at ideas for my own main cabinet, and one of the ideas, which I'm still not 100% sold against yet, is Earthbound, an Earthbound themed cabinet. But Earthbound's like the worst game you'd want to play on an arcade.
Oh yeah, dude. It'd just be like. It would have like a fucking snack machine built into it and like a little chair that folds out into a bed. You pay instead of putting a quarter in for a credit, you just pay by like the hour.
Yeah.
That would be some shit. It's pretty good though. I recommend you check it out if you got your main cabinet or if you got a Neo Geo cab, get you one of these. You can probably find one of these carts. I don't think it's like just a terribly rare game or nothing. Being Neo Geo though, you're still gonna pay probably a couple $100, but it's worth the check out. Ninja Commando. That's tonight's Arcade Arcana.
I'm going Ninja Commando.
Did I say Ninja Gaiden?
No.
Okay. Drink some more beer, Lyle. It'll be okay.
Alright. Well, what I'm talking about tonight isn't exactly a retro game, and by isn't exactly, I mean not at all.
Oh, shit. One of mine's not a retro game either.
Well, cool. We're the Modern Gaming Podcast.
There's been a lot changed since we've been gone for these 2 weeks. Our original vision has failed us.
I picked this up from the recommendation of the guy we interviewed a few weeks back, Richard Moss of Pints and Pixels. I finally bought Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. Yeah. But
this almost sounds more dreadful to me than having to go funnel eggs out of your fucking butthole in a basement.
I will say first and foremost that Blizzard did not get a dime of this money. I ventured through some seedy websites and paid probably some Chinese hackers who got this key illegally, but I got the key and Blizzard saw nothing of it. So win.
We're not held liable for anything said on there.
I am. Fuck it.
Please consult our logger, Ronald Lump.
Okay. Well, Reaper of Souls is old news. It's like a year or 2 old now. It's the expansion for Diablo 3 for those who don't know. And it was a complete retooling of the game. They set out to fix a lot of the bad things that they started with the Diablo 3, and there were many bad things that they started with Diablo 3. And I will say, just off the bat, they did fix a lot of it. The old game director, I can't remember his name. Hold on, grab my drink.
I seen your Diet Mountain Dew just fall over.
I think it was Jay Wilson was his name, because I remember that was also the name of a slime in Ultima Online. I think about the same guy, because he gave Ultima Online a shitty review back in the day. So they added a creature in the game that was a slime named Jay Wilson.
That's excellent.
Yeah. But anyway, long story short, he completely screwed the pooch on Diablo 3. And they booted him. Or he resigned one, I don't recall, don't care. And they made Reaper of Souls. The biggest and most drastic change Reaper of Souls made to Diablo 3 is they killed the auction house. And Diablo 3, for those who don't know, they implemented a real-world auction system into the game. So you could play the game normally and get your gear, which had horribly low drop rates, I might add. They almost forced you into using the auction house. But you could play the game, grind, and get your gear the normal way, extremely excruciatingly. Or you could drop money and get the best shit in a day. And it got so ridiculous, one guy paid $12,000 for a crossbow. Yeah. And we're talking
$12,000.
Yeah. Yep. And it was and the way the gearing in it works is, it was a perfect roll, which a good imperfect roll was like fractions of a percentage, not as good as that. So this guy paid top dollar for something that's barely better than what he had, and now it's useless.
The guy paid. I'm still mind blown by that. The guy paid $12,000 for an item
In a game.
in a video game.
Yep, a virtual crossbow for his demon hunter. So yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
And that was very
Jesus.
rampant. You could buy gold in it. You could buy anything you needed. You could buy in there with real world money. The reason why they did that is because with Diablo 2, eBay auctions were out of control. Even after eBay, independent websites.
Like selling a code for the item or something?
No, selling the items. Like you'd go on eBay and you'd pay them, $5-10 for whatever item, and then you'd meet them in game and they'd give it to you. And 99% of it was Chinese hackers who would hack people's accounts, take all their shit, and then sell it on eBay. And I say hacked loosely. They're not targeting random people who's never had any dealings with them. They're targeting people who downloaded bogus cheat programs and things like that.
People that are wanting to go around the integrity of the game to boast their character a little better.
The main thing is the people who have downloaded bogus cheat programs and people who use power leveling services. To anyone who does MMOs or anything like that, never use a power leveling service, because they will get your shit. Because to do that, you have to give them access to your account, which should be a big red flag for anybody. But anyways, that was their way to combat it, was to not combat it at all, but to encourage it, which it didn't make any sense. They just wanted the cut of the money is what it was. Anyways, the auction house is no more. Also on the auction house, you could sell things for in-game gold, which was fine with me, but that's gone too. In fact, not only did they fix that, they overcorrected. You can't trade in Diablo 3 now. There's no trading. Trading was
None
always
whatsoever?
none.
That's kind of like
That's been a staple of Diablo, is trading. So that kind of sucks.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
That's almost like taking bullet time out of a Max Payne game.
Yeah. But on the plus side of their overcorrection is they drastically increased the drop rate. I played the original Diablo 3, from level 1 all the way up to max level and like 60-something Paragon levels, which is like secondary levels. I was even playing on the hardest difficulty, which is like Inferno difficulty 10 or some bullshit. Played that whole time and saw like 2 legendary items, which are like uniques in the game. In comparison, Diablo 1, Diablo 2, you're probably going to find a unique item in your first 3 hours, 4 hours. I put hundreds of hours into the game, possibly. I don't remember exactly how many. At least 100. One unique. So now, since I started playing again, I've come across like 4 or 5. So already in the few hours I've played this, I've come across more legendary items than I did in the entire time I played in the original release. So that's better. Another thing they did is they upped the level cap from level 60 to 70, and they removed the Paragon level cap. My whole nose is stuffed up with eggs. Traditionally, the level cap in Diablo has always been level 99, but in Diablo 3 it was 60, then they raised it to 70, and the Paragon level things in the original release, they were like sub-levels, and you could cap them out, I think, at 99. I don't recall, I could be wrong on that, but Paragon levels are like smaller levels that give you small boosts to your stats and magic find, things like that. So they removed the cap on that, so you could play the game infinitely and never max out your level. It just perpetually increases how much experience you need to get the next Paragon level. So, in a way, it's good because you can play the same character infinitely and always find slightly better gear, gain a paragon level here and there, and it's always improved a little bit. And it's also bad because it's created such a huge fucking gap for between new players and old players, because they have so many, up there. I've seen players up to like 1600 paragon levels now, and it's just like, holy shit, I've got like 60. I will never get up to there, like not in a lifetime, because I can't play the game 24/7. Another thing is, the increased level cap. I'm not a big fan of raising the caps on levels, because it's empty content. I consider it like you're just saying, "Hey, grind this out 10 more times, and you'll be done again, waiting for nothing." But I do understand the reason why. I think the reason why they upped the level cap is because of the auction house beforehand. You had people dropping $12,000 on a fucking crossbow to get the maximum in-game gear.
So crazy.
So by upping the level cap, these people who paid ludicrous amounts of money for their in-game gear saw better common items than the shit they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for within hours of playing the game. So it completely shit on them, which is good, I think. But yeah, the Diablo 3 ended with you taking out Diablo, obviously, as the name goes. And so now that main threat was gone, all that was left was Diablo's Soulstone. And I don't want to get too deep into the story, but basically it holds Diablo's essence. So you kill Diablo in heaven in Diablo 3. So in the start of Reaper of Souls, they were trying to hide it to get rid of it because it permeates evil wherever it is. So they got the Herodrum, which is like a cult of mages, basically, to hide it where even the angels wouldn't know. And in the middle of it, this big bad angel called Malthael attacks and takes the Soulstone. He's basically the Grim Reaper. And this is where the subpar storytelling to the old games kind of shows again. Like Diablo 1 and 2 felt like really grim stories, and they weren't convoluted at all. There was a whole lot of shit going on. But they were basic, and it felt almost hopeless to a degree. That was kind of a marker in the Diablo games. The whole Diablo 3 story, including Reaper of Souls, it feels like a fucking episode of Supernatural. You kill the bad guy, but now there's even a bigger bad guy named Phil, and he's more powerful because
he's a super beast.
Yeah, he's more powerful because of reasons. It's very Dragon Ball Z-ish, I would say, just because of that shit. Yeah, you just beat the main bad guy, but now his cousin Phil's coming to beat your ass. Who you've never fucking heard of until now. Yeah, he comes, he takes the Soulstone. So now you start the quest to get back the Soulstone. The game does take place in the big city of Westmarch, which has been alluded to in all the other games. If you took the time to listen to everyone's conversations and read the lore, Westmarch is like the big city of the area Diablo games take place in. And I'll have to give it a big plus in that the setting of the city is a lot creepier than the rest of Diablo 3. That's one of my big gripes with Diablo 3. It was really cartoony. It was really bright. It just didn't feel like Diablo. This game feels a lot more like Diablo than the rest of Diablo 3 did. Or this expansion does. So I haven't got a whole lot further into the story myself, and I don't want to spoil too much of it. They did add an adventure mode to the game. Adventure mode is basically an infinite dungeon run. You can run randomized dungeons, and they get progressively harder. Yeah, they're extremely dense with monsters to kill and that sort of thing.
Nice.
They added a clans and community system, so the clans are what you think of as clans. It's kind of private clubs you can get together with other people. Communities are basically chat rooms, so you can kind of discuss things with people about whatever you want to. Whoops. Another big addition to
Thunder rolls. Oh.
excuse us.
Yep. Oh. Thank you. Thank you, Emerald. Thank you to my wife for bringing me a cigarette.
You need it after what we've been through.
Yeah, I know. Chain smoking. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's cool. One of the last major things that I want to talk about is they introduced a new class called the Crusader, who's based a whole lot on the Paladin from Diablo 2. I haven't got a chance to play him yet. I was playing my old Witch Doctor. Looks like a really tanky character, though, sword and board type thing.
Yeah.
I fucking hated Paladins in Diablo 2. I always played the PvP in Diablo 2, and they would just teleport around, spamming their little circular hammer things that they can summon hammers that just go in a circle, and it's like a really cheesy way to kill people. Anyways,
sounds very tactful.
it was about like the assassins in Diablo 2.
Nice.
They would just lay traps and hope you get close to them. Anyways, I think there is PvP now in the game. I'm not familiar with it. I haven't tried it yet because I would just get demolished because I'm not nearly geared it up enough now. What else was there? From what I've read, the absolute end game is kind of shitty now. If you're playing in season mode or really any mode, the best way to clear dungeons is to have 2 to 3 people as support characters, which is a big no-no in Diablo and other action RPGs. You don't have support characters. Everyone's killing monsters. It's a monster slaying game. You play it to kill monsters. You don't play it to buff people, heal people, that sort of thing. But apparently the best way to go through the game now is to have 2 to 3 support characters and one person actually kill monsters, which is supreme horseshit. It should never be like that. That's not what Diablo's about. That's what World of Warcraft's about. That's not what Diablo's about. And there's a lot of little influences from fucking WoW coming through like that. Diablo, Blizzard's tasted that success of WoW, and it fucking permeates everything they do now. I fucking hate it. That's why I hate WoW so much.
Well,
it's not because it's just a bad game, because I could just ignore it, but it's kind of ruined by proxy so many other great games Blizzard had.
WoW ruined another thing for me a little bit earlier this week.
What's that?
No, it's like actually the week before. But anyways, I watched Cannibal Corpse put a documentary out just about like the history of Cannibal Corpse.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it, and they show Corpse Grinder, which is the singer now for Cannibal Corpse. They were showing what he does in his time off, and they're filming him in his house. And I noticed like Final Fantasy X statues all over his wall. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And he's like, yeah, I play a lot of video games. And this one takes more time than anything. Pulls the drawer out, and he has like all fucking 3 World of Warcraft expansions on his desk. And I'm just like, I almost wanted to be like, no. With like a just searing ass death metal riff behind me. But anywho.
Yeah, its tendrils have reached into Warcraft 3. Warcraft 1 and 2 were great. It's reached into StarCraft 2. StarCraft 1 was great. StarCraft 2 went the same way as Warcraft 3 in my opinion. Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2, they focus a lot more on micromanagement of your hero characters and stuff. So basically you're playing your little shitty MMO characters on a strategy game. It's kind of what birthed MOBA games too, and I fucking hate MOBAs because it's all about micromanaging these shitty little hero characters. Warcraft 1 and 2.
It's not actually about expanding outward in the game. It's more...
Yeah, it's about...
getting your character ready to expand outward into the game.
Yeah, it's I got this character over here. His special abilities coming off cooldown. I gotta hit my macros to do all this shit. Like, fuck that. I'd rather play like a game with strategy instead of a game about micromanaging cooldowns. Warcraft, it sucks because I really liked Warcraft in the beginning because Warcraft, Godzilla 2, and Romance of the 7 Kingdoms. Is it 7 or is it 3? I don't remember.
3 Kingdoms, I think.
I remember there's a shitload of kingdoms in those games, though.
There's a shitload of those games. Yeah. There's like 10 or 11 of them.
I played those on the Super Nintendo a lot. But those 3 games are like some of my earliest experiences with strategy games. I really loved them a lot. It just sucks to see it be tainted by WoW. Everything Blizzard's done has been tainted by WoW, and it sucks.
It's an unfortunate downside of it.
Yeah, they made great games, and they arguably still make decent games. They put a lot of time, effort, and polish into them. Just their design choices, I don't like them anymore. They cater to the WoW crowd, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm not that demographic.
Sucks.
But anyways, yeah, that's my non-retro game of the week.
Well, mine will not be as detailed as yours. But I have two. One is non-retro and one is retro. I can't really talk a whole lot about the non-retro one because I haven't made it past the second fucking level yet. But I've been playing a game I picked up on sale on Steam called Project Starship. It's like an arcade vertical shooter bullet hell in every sense. It's got a bunch of techno music. It's procedurally generated.
Gotta eat my eggs.
So it's different every time you play it. You can pick easy or hard, guy or girl. That's about all I can say about it. I don't really know much more how to explain about it because it's your basic ass shooter. You get power ups.
Hard girl is the correct combination.
Yeah,
Always.
it's fun though. I mean, like I said, it's different every time, and shit you can pick up for 99 cents.
Yeah.
So I was gonna mention that, but one I have been playing a shitload of this past week is Streets of Rage 2
Hell yeah.
for the Sega Genesis. By the way, did you know that Streets of Rage 2 in Japan is known as Bare Knuckle 2, the Requiem of the Deadly Battle?
That sounds way cooler.
No shit.
Sounds way less like a game where you knock over garbage cans for turkeys.
Mm-hmm. It if you've ever played the first Streets of Rage, it plays identical to that. It introduces two new characters, Max Thunder and Eddie Skate Hunter, and who is actually the brother of Adam Hunter, who's the hero in the first game. I'll go ahead and dive into the stories. I don't really feel like I can spoil much with this. Yeah. Pretty much a year's went by since Streets of Rage. To celebrate the defeat of Mr. X and his syndicate, Adam Hunter and Axel Stone and Blaze Fielding, the heroes from the first game, meet at a night spot and spend their time bragging about kicking Mr. X's fucking teeth in. Axel begins working as a part-time bodyguard. Blaze teaches dance classes. And Adam since rejoins the police force and lives in a small house with his younger brother, the aforementioned Eddie Skate Hunter. Pretty much, he gets a phone call from his younger brother, and he comes home and finds his house ransacked. His older brother's missing. And pretty much Axel and Eddie and Eddie and Max and Axel from the first game take to the Streets of Rage to get back at him. You fight your way across, I think there's 8 levels, something like that. You beat your way across these levels though, and pretty much it's different from the other 2 games in the series, and this one's actually got a good ending and a bad ending. The good ending, pretty much you defeat Mr. X, you save Adam, and the 5 heroes, you get on a helicopter and you leave the island where the final couple levels take place. The bad ending, you fucking fell, everybody dies. Shit, there's not a whole lot to say about it either. It's standard beat 'em up.
You can eat street turkeys.
Yeah. There's lots of random meats to be found on the street.
Yeah, you just knock over the lot poles and garbage cans, and I have to wonder where they put these food items so quickly because it's like instant. I think it's suppositories.
They're never scared to eat out of a dumpster or a trash can either.
I mean, when you're beating ass, it's not like you can go to McDonald's.
I mean, you're just the hardest motherfucker to ever walk the planet, I guess, at that point.
Yeah.
One thing about...
I mean, you're skewering street rats with your boner and eating them like a spigot.
Just 1,000 eggs just shoved up your ass.
Yeah.
One thing about the Streets of Rage games, I mean, most everybody's played these games at this point, but they're a lot more fast-paced than a lot of other beat-em-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Maximum Carnage made me think a lot of a Streets of Rage game, just how it's kind of like that comic booky, fast-paced. That was one thing Sega really had down pat, I thought, back in the day. They were good at making a good beat-em-up. Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Comic Zone, that was a good one. The soundtrack's pretty notorious for Streets of Rage 2 as well.
It's coming out on vinyl, I believe. I think
It
you
is.
mentioned that.
It is. It's a weird mixture of like electronic dance music and like gritty, I guess like funk and rock.
Mm-hmm.
They said they wanted to have music that would make people think they were in a nightclub where, a lot of the game actually took place at. But, yeah, that's about all I can say. I'm ill-prepared for my random games of the week because I haven't really played anything that, like Diablo, that has substance.
Yeah.
I walked around, if I wasn't shooting shit and dying, I was either like walking around beating people until I got beat to death.
I mean, that's the essence of gaming.
Mm-hmm. So, short and sweet on my behalf.
Alright, I guess it's for something a little hot and steamy. Well, it's not. I guess I should introduce Hot and Steamy. For those who don't know, Hot and Steamy is one man's quest to play his entire Steam library before he buys more games. I'm making it. I'm eventually going to do it. Tonight's Hot and Steamy is a game that I apparently had for like 2 years and never played it. It's called Fenix Rage. It's very Super Meat Boy-ish. When did the Super Meat Boy come out? Like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer.
Give me just a second, and I shall find out.
It don't matter.
Ask, and you shall receive.
Anyways,
2010.
okay,
So
6
years ago.
Okay, so solid 4 years after Super Meat Boy. This game plays a lot like it. It's a super hard, fast-paced platformer, and it's no nonsense with your deaths like Super Meat Boy. When you die, you just immediately start over. There's no death screen or anything like that. You just start back at the beginning of the level. You take control of this character, and I don't know, it probably has a name, I don't know it. It is very much a nod to Sonic in the way the character looks. He looks kind of like a short, more hedgehoggy version of Sonic from the side view. This is a full 2D game. When you see it has some a couple of cinematic sequences, which are all done in 2D, but you see the character from the front and those sequences, and it looks different there. But from the side, it's definitely a resemblance to Sonic. Like I said, though, it looks more like a real hedgehog than Sonic does. It features a lot of really fast, intuitive platforming. It's really simple. You can jump. You can jump infinitely, I might add. You don't quite fly, but you can just press jump over and over until you go off this level screen, and then you die. And you can dash, which is, just a quick dash left to right. And that's all the tools you have to make it through the level. Each level is just basically you start off in your start position. There's a little blue cube with the bad guy on it at the end of the level. Your guy's basically chasing down the bad guy to kick his ass. I don't know if you ever actually get to catch him. I kind of doubt it. Once you go and you find that blue cube he's on, he runs away into it, and then you walk into the cube 2 and you're portaled away to another level and you do the same thing again. There's no real enemies in the level. There's I don't know if you could even consider them monsters. The most of the enemy blocks, I guess you could say, are moving like gelatinous cubes almost. It's little cubes the same size as your character. They move, in varying speeds from extremely fast to kind of slow. They bounce, they jump, all kinds of shit. And you just use your basic tools you got to get past it all. There's some blocks that you can break by dashing through them. There's some blocks that will set you on fire, which doesn't hurt you, but while you're on fire, you can dash through ice blocks. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of puzzle elements.
Yeah.
A
little bit, yeah. There's the only two things that are really a metric, or three things, I guess, that are a metric of your skill in the game is each level has a cookie hidden on it. So you want to get the cookie if you want to get the maximum score or whatever. Your time, because each level's timed. So if you want to make for the best gameplay in it, you want the cookie and you want the lowest time. And the third, I guess, is actually beating the level. Game features some really great music. I tried to get some to bring in to sample, but I'm guessing they're super Jews with their music licenses. I couldn't find any to easily download, so I couldn't. I'm not going to go through that many hoops to promote their game. I mean, I'm sorry, but
Oh yeah,
make it a little easier for me to feature your game. But yeah, it's got some nice stylized 2D art on it, and it's a good platformer. It's very Super Meat Ball-y. If that's your thing, check it out. It gets pretty damn difficult. I know at some parts there were so many enemy blocks on the screen that I was like, man, it's just easier to start the level over and just repeatedly jump through the enemies blindly, just kind of rolling the dice to make it through there without getting hit. Because each level's different, but like there's one particular level I'm talking about. There's almost no ground you could stand on, but there's a lot of enemies in the air bouncing back and forth. And even though there's a shitload of them, there's still a good bit of space in between them. So I'm like, mathematically, I got like a 20% chance of getting hit if I just blindly go. And it kind of worked for me doing that.
Nice.
But some aren't that easy. Some of them you got some really tight squeezes, and you got to sit there and kind of juggle your infinite jumps between different gelatinous cube blocks and stuff. So it can get pretty hectic. So I have to say, Fenix Rage is pretty hot and steamy. You can get it cheap, I'm sure, because I don't even remember buying it. It probably came in a humble bundle, or I got it dirt cheap on the Steam sale.
I'm making a note of it. I'm gonna check it out myself.
You should.
Now that I have the capability of doing such.
Yep.
Well, very nice.
Indeed.
Do you want to go ahead and do calls before I unveil our new promotion?
Yeah, let's do calls. If you want to give us a call, it's 682-777-GOOD.
You should call us. We have that number for a fucking reason.
It's been a while. You want to play the number intro or the repercussions?
Do the intro. It's been a while. Yeah! Indeed.
We got one call tonight from Steve Steverson.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, this is Steve Steverson, local Grand Dragon Master Wizard of Pokemon in Coleman County. I was just wondering when you dumb sons of bitches were going to get done making out with each other's dicks and actually get people to answer my question. Whenever you get a second, I mean, take the dicks out of each other and maybe do that for me. That'd be great. Steve Steverson.
Steve Steverson out.
Steve, I appreciate the call.
Thank you very much.
I just sent you a text like 45 minutes to an hour ago asking you what the question was because I can't fucking remember. I've been raped with eggs. So, you're not getting your question asked because I don't recall.
No, sorry. Maybe you should call us in and berate us again and remind us what the question is.
Or call in the question.
Yeah. Call
there
in.
You go.
Yeah. How about this? How about this week's question of the week is, everybody guess what Steve Stevenson's question really was. Just give us an answer. That'd work.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve. We fucking failed you miserably.
No, we went back and listened. I'm sure it's on there, but
yeah.
I don't recall. So yeah,
we'll get to the bottom of this mystery.
Yeah, we will, but not right now.
So we're doing something new, just to stir the interest of crowd participation. Excuse me. But me and Brandon are doing a new thing called Good Old Lame Game Giveaway. Yes. What we are going to do is we're going to set aside a lame game every couple weeks and do a giveaway. And all you simply got to do is tell us why you deserve this piece of shit game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're sending you a little Samson. You're not getting one of our 33 high gains or nothing. You're getting some of the bottom of the barrel here, folks. So we're gonna be honest with you.
The most bottom of the barrel.
But we will tell you this: each bottom of the barrel game you get, if you're the winner, me and Brandon will write you a personalized message on your game.
Yeah.
Therefore destroying what little value the game had to begin with, and we'll write something that you wouldn't show your parents.
Yeah.
We'll write whatever you want, as distasteful as you want it to be. But for our first giveaway, we got 2 games up for grabs right here. Nobody can see them but Brandon. We have an Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man. Yeah. Embrace your hate. Embrace your hatred. And then we also have the Atari 2600 version of Night Driver.
What in God's name is that thing?
I don't. That's a good question. Night Driver. I will take a photo of these tonight and post these. I'll probably do us up a little ad or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have something posted with the game, with a picture of the games posted, and maybe like your requirements for winning said games on there, and I'll have it on the site in a couple days. But tell us why you deserve such a shitty game, why you don't deserve a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us why. Be honest with us. We'll give it away. It's your chance to own some gaming history. 2 crisp, like new Atari 2600 carts with our signatures, which are absolutely worthless. They might actually cause you to owe us money eventually. And we will also be sure to write some dirty message on there of your choice.
I can teabag them on request.
He can.
And I probably
we will put them in a Ziploc bag so you can still smell his nut steak on them when you get them in the mail.
Yeah, and even if you don't want them teabagged, I'll probably still teabag them.
Probably. This Pac-Man's probably already been teabagged. It smells like a hobo's taint.
Yep.
But
very familiar smell, huh?
Yeah, especially as of here recently. But seriously, hit us up. You want a couple free games? They are lame games, but they are still games.
They are games. Free games are the best
yeah,
games. Even
exactly.
the lame games.
So let us know, and the winner will receive a couple games. We'll mail them to you and have them ready to go. That's the good old lame game giveaway.
Ooh.
So I reckon that's about it.
Well, we have a question of the week that's been a while.
Indeed.
It's
been quite a minute.
You know, I never threw out the actual question poster, but we did get an answer for it.
Nice.
Because I've I've been busy with moving and getting egg raped. Let me find our post, though.
I love eggs. From my head down to my legs. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our question of the week last time was, what was your worst video game buying experience?
Yep.
Our buddy Mike McDaniel was the only one to answer it, but
Dang.
yeah, like I said, I completely forgot to make the picture.
It's
throw it
okay.
up. He said the worst game buying experience I've had isn't so bad, but it was a total waste of money. On the Bloodstained forums, which he is an admin and creator of, someone wanted to donate a digital copy of Symphony of the Night as a prize to a giveaway. The winner wanted it on PlayStation Network, so the person who donated the prize money sent $20 to my PayPal. PayPal took their cut, then I bought a code for Symphony of the Night on PSN and sent the code. But there was some problem, like the code is tied to my account, even though I never claimed it. I couldn't give it away. I ended up sending PayPal money to the winner and just trusted they would buy a Symphony of the Night with it. I guess I'm just spoiled with sending humble bundle codes for Steam. In the end, I was stuck with a copy of a game I've already got on many other systems and will probably never play. Yeah, consoles need to get their shit together when it comes to that. Learn something from the PC side. They're trying to be like PCs so bad. Take the good shit that PCs do.
Yeah. Instead of doing the same old stupid shit that consoles have always done.
Yeah.
Pretty lame.
We need a new question of the week. Yeah, see?
Let me think here.
What is the worst video game crowdfunding thing you've seen?
Nice.
I think that we could probably come across some big stinkers there.
Oh, yeah.
Calico Chameleon's out. You can't say Calico
I got my
Chameleon.
fucking... I'm looking at mine on the shelf right now. I
A game stick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll dive into the game stick next week. Or this weekend, whenever it is we record again. That just automatically come to mind. I'm like, yep, that takes a taco for me. So yeah, what's the worst crowdfunding video game? That would be game, console, anything to do with video game. What's the worst crowdfunded project you've seen as far as video game world concerned? We don't give a shit about anal bleachers that some guy made in his garage. He needs $2 million to
Speaking
mass-produce.
of the worst video game crowdfunding thing you've seen, we're probably going to be doing a good old Game Fest.
Oh yeah, no shit. Speaking of which, we've tossed around the idea of an Indiegogo possibly because we're talking about some money.
Yeah.
For a bigger, better Game Fest.
No details quite yet. I haven't got finished with my move to really sit down and think about it, but it's something like that's coming.
Yeah. So stay tuned with us on that. And actually, you hear this, let us know what you think about the idea of us doing an Indiegogo campaign. If you think it's a fucking terrible, dreadful idea, we'd be welcome to hear it.
Yeah.
We'd like to have input because ultimately the funding would be coming from you, the funder.
Yep.
So, let us know what you think about the whole idea. It would be mucho appreciated by us and very helpful.
And if you like it and you have a good idea for like a reward, let us know.
Yeah, we're open to all ideas at this point.
Yep.
So, anything you would like to see, or if there's something that would sway you to give us your money, let us know. We'll try to make things happen. For show.
Indeed.
You can find us on our webpage, goodoldgamers.com. Find us on our Facebook, Good Old Gamers Podcast.
Yep.
Find us on Stitcher, or God damn it, I always want to say Twitcher.
Yeah, Stitcher,
iTunes, Twitter.
Yep,
is what I was trying to say.
The Google Play podcast services. If it's not live now, it's very soon going to be live. So you can get us there with the default Android podcast app when that drops.
Are we on TuneIn?
We're on TuneIn.
TuneIn, check us out on there. YouTube's.
We still
just got
Basic audio.
Yeah, audio.
This video's on the way really soon.
Yeah, we keep telling y'all that, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
You know, we sponsor ourselves. We don't have people just giving us money, so
Yeah.
these things do take time. But you can find us on there. Shoot us an email if you got any questions at Lyle or Brandon at goodoldgamers.com.
Or podcast at goodoldgamers.com.
Yep. Send us your responses if you want some lame games for free.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is tell us why, and if we think it's good enough, we'll mail the fuckers to you. Simple as that.
Yep. Send those to us on Facebook or through email. Be the best way to do it.
Indeed.
Or tweet. You can tweet at us.
We'll probably be recording again this weekend, maybe.
I hope so, yeah.
So, cool. We'll be coming back at you just a few short days after this then.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned it. Today is Tuesday.
Yeah, it is Tuesday. I mentioned the date, but I didn't clarify which day it was.
It's an odd recording day. We haven't recorded on our usual day in a while.
No.
Just life has been a thing.
Between life and being held captive, you know.
Yep.
It's rough. But, anywho, check us out. And until next time, game over, man.
Game over.
Please don't go. The drones need you. They look up to you.